This is the Nashville North Network broadcasting from Canada, heard and seen worldwide.
My name is Roger Moore. I started painting way back in my island, Barbados. Subjects at school did not appeal to me. I was constantly trying my best to become a painter. I didn't know at that time what a painter was, and unfortunately in my time there was not many art teachers teach the subject, but I found my way, however. I started painting my oils with the palette knife, which is quite difficult. And as I got here and I started to raise a family, I find that oil painting and the substances that makes the oil, the turpentine, etc., was too strong for the kids and to breathe in the apartment. So I switched to watercolors and found it was much easier to work with. My subjects are still life. I like the fruit. I'm not afraid to do people. People are the hardest to do in watercolors, but I try the people. And of course scenery, always scenery. When I paint first for the love of what I'm doing. I hope that someone will love it. I paint first because I like that piece and because I like doing that subject. I sell my work in shows, sometimes the Barbados Consulate or friends would have shows, mostly private sales where people who I dealt with before would call upon me and ask me to either do a painting, commission me to do a painting, or they'll come to the house and see something they like and purchase it. I also have prints. I have 6 prints. I have 3 limited edition and 3 unlimited edition. So this helped to supplement the cost of the equipment, etc., etc. I'm never sentimental about any piece I do. I like it. I would like to keep it, to study it, because it's good to have your work around that you can study your mistakes and some of your achievements. But at the same time, I was never ever sentimental of any piece I have. If it's a good piece, I'll price it accordingly. And if you must have it, well, then you will purchase it for the price that I want. And then that it sits in the house until it's gone. Sometimes you get really carried away and you want to prove that you can paint every little minute detail. And I did with this one. Actually, I had to stop because it was too realistic. For many years, I said to people, I love fall. It's the best season. But until I fell in love with spring, of course, spring is to me the best season, and a lot of my paintings are influenced with spring. To complete a painting, let's say a full-size sheet of watercolor paper, which is a 30 by 22, if you do that, depends on the subject. If it's a busy subject, if it's lots of people or whatever is in the painting, it can take you a whole day. I've done a piece of work, a portrait that took me 25 minutes. But the secret of a watercolor is once you have to know when to stop. That's the secret. Most people carry on and labor on it, and after a while you find that you have gone too far. When you attempt to paint a watercolor, to craft, to do it, you have to stretch paper. In the medium watercolor, you stretch the paper, and that takes about 24 hours to dry. And then you have this virgin white paper sitting there that you already have your subject. You know what you're going to paint, whether it be a bowl of fruit or a scenery. Sometimes the subject could be a sketch from a previous experience, whether it be scenery, etc., or it could be a photograph also from a previous experience. But the photograph is always my interpretation, my construction in the camera. Good brushes are very important, and I was fortunate to acquire a number of good brushes, good watercolor brushes, which I have presently in my collection. They are Winsor Newton, Red Sable, and they range from number 3 to number 12. But once you have acquired the technique in painting watercolors, you can paint with anything. You can paint with feather.